Imagine ruling the most powerful empire on earth while your closest allies betray you, your enemies gather at every border, your children die young, and your health slowly declines. What would you become? Bitter? Paranoid? Broken? Marcus Aurelius became something else, a philosopher-king. Not because he was perfect, but because he was painfully human. And in that humanity, he clung to philosophy like a lantern in the dark. Today, we ask a simple question. What made Marcus Aurelius a great leader? And the answer, like the man himself, is anything but simple. Part 1. The making of a philosopher-king. Marcus Aurelius was not born to be emperor. He was chosen by Hadrian, then Antoninus Pius, as a future leader not for his bloodline, but for his character. From a young age, Marcus was drawn not to pleasure or power, but to philosophy. He preferred a quiet life of books and introspection, but fate handed him the Roman Empire. What made him great? He did not run. He accepted his duty and transformed the role of emperor from a position of dominance into a vessel of virtue. Leadership Lesson 1. A great leader doesn't seek power, he accepts responsibility. He studied under tutors like Junius Rusticus, who introduced him to Stoic philosophy. From Epictetus, he learned that control is an illusion, except over one thing, the self. Marcus didn't want to rule, that's why he was fit to rule. Part 2. Calm in chaos, the Stoic emperor. Marcus's reign was not peaceful. War after war, plague after plague, political betrayal, family grief. Yet he ruled with calm, with clarity, and with compassion. He wrote Meditations not as a book to publish, but as a private journal, a reminder to himself that the mind must govern the man. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wasn't theory, it was survival. Where other rulers lashed out, Marcus paused. Where others demanded loyalty, he cultivated respect. Leadership Lesson 2. Greatness is not proven in comfort, it is forged in chaos. His leadership was not about commanding others. It was about mastering himself. In battle, he was disciplined. In illness, he was accepting. In betrayal, he was composed. He lived the Stoic principle of apatheia, not emotionless indifference, but freedom from destructive passions. Part 3. Humility and power, a rare combination. Most leaders crave praise. Marcus feared it. He constantly reminded himself that fame is fleeting, power is temporary, and the opinions of others are like wind through leaves. He wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. It is not what others do or say that troubles you, but your judgment of it." This humility made him grounded, aware that his crown could not protect him from death, failure, or human flaws. Leadership Lesson 3. True power is grounded in humility, not ego. When we look around today, we see leaders who crumble under pressure, who blame, boast, or break. Marcus kept going, not because he was unbreakable, but because he chose to lead from the inside out. Part 4. Resilience in war and loss. Marcus led Rome during the Marcomannic Wars, a brutal conflict that drained the empire and challenged his soul. On the battlefield, he carried both sword and scroll. He issued orders, then wrote reflections. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This wasn't just poetic, it was practical. It allowed him to endure losses, of soldiers, friends, even children, with strength and grace. He grieved, but he kept moving. Leadership Lesson 4. A leader feels pain but is not defined by it. His resilience was rooted in the Stoic belief that every obstacle is an opportunity for virtue. Rather than complain, he cultivated wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the 4 cardinal Stoic virtues. Part 5. Personal sacrifice and moral integrity. In a time where emperors indulged themselves, Marcus lived simply. He slept on a hard bed, ate basic food, wore ordinary clothes. Why? Because he believed a leader must model the life he preaches. His son Commodus, tragically, would become the antithesis of his father's virtues. But Marcus never wavered. He believed that legacy is not built by bloodlines, but by character. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. Leadership Lesson 5. A great leader leads by example, not command. He died with his boots on, still guiding the empire, still journaling, still reminding himself, "You are a soul, carrying a corpse. Do your duty." Part 6, Modern Lessons from an Ancient Mind. Why does Marcus Aurelius matter in 2025? Because we are surrounded by noise, distraction, outrage, ego, entitlement. And Marcus shows us another path. He reminds us that discipline is freedom, simplicity is strength, emotion can be felt without letting it rule. Suffering is not the enemy, our attitude is the world. In a world that tells us to accumulate, dominate, react, Marcus invites us to reflect, simplify, and master the self. His greatness wasn't in conquering lands, it was in conquering himself. That's the ultimate leadership. So what made Marcus Aurelius a great leader? He led not from his throne, but from his heart, not with an iron fist, but with an iron will. He ruled Rome and himself with wisdom, humility, and enduring grace. If this story moved you or gave you something to reflect on, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let's keep bringing ancient insight into modern lives. Because in a world desperate for leadership, we need philosopher kings more than ever.